In life, many people grow up believing that hard work is the only real path to success. We are taught that if we keep our heads down and put in more effort than everyone else, success will eventually find its way to us. But as we move through the world, we slowly realize that hard work alone is not enough. Effort matters, but wisdom, timing, and understanding human nature matter just as much. A lamp that stays lit every day becomes ordinary, its light is expected. But the moment that lamp goes out, everyone suddenly notices what they had been taking for granted. People work the same way. If we cannot make our presence, our value, and our contributions visible in the right manner, we run the risk of being silently replaced by someone who may not even be half as capable as we are. Today's story is about this overlooked truth of life. There was once a young worker in a factory, eager to learn and eager to prove himself. His mentor was an elderly craftsman known throughout the factory for his patience and experience. The old man had spent decades perfecting his skills, and the young worker admired him deeply. One day, the mentor gave him advice that the young man never forgot: work with full focus. Don't waste your energy on useless talk. Master every single thing in this factory so well that no one will ever be able to replace you. These words settled into the young man's heart, and he followed them faithfully. 10 years passed. The elderly craftsman finally retired, and the young man naturally took over his position. He continued working with the same dedication he had learned from his mentor. He kept to himself, avoided unnecessary conversations, and handled every task with skill and speed. Over time, he became the most capable worker in the entire factory. Yet despite all this, he often felt something was missing. One day, he visited his old mentor and sat down quietly beside him. The older man noticed the stress on his face and gently asked what had happened. The young man took a deep breath and said, "I followed everything you taught me. I work harder than everyone. I stay focused. I don't waste time talking. I have become so skilled that no one matches me. But I still don't understand something. People with half my ability have been promoted, yet my salary hasn't changed in years. I am still treated like the same assistant I used to be. What am I doing wrong?" The elderly craftsman looked at him for a moment and asked, "Do you truly believe you are important to the factory?" With confidence, the young man replied, "Yes, I am certain of it." The old man nodded thoughtfully and said, "Then do one thing. Take tomorrow off. Make some excuse. Maybe you need a little rest." The young man was confused, but he trusted his teacher. He applied for leave and stayed home the next day. When he returned, his manager immediately called him into the office. The manager explained that the factory had struggled the entire day without him. The tasks he handled effortlessly had become a mess in his absence. Because of this, the company finally realized how important he was. The manager promoted him to senior technician and encouraged him to continue working with the same dedication. The young man was overjoyed. He thanked his mentor for the brilliant advice. It felt like he had finally discovered the real secret of success: to make people miss you so they understand your value. From that day onward, whenever he felt he was not receiving enough respect, whenever he thought he deserved more appreciation or a raise, he would take a day off. And every time, things seemed to improve. His absence would cause problems, and people would treat him better the next day. This continued for several months, and he believed the strategy was perfect. But one morning, when he arrived at the factory as usual, he was shocked to find that he was not allowed to enter. Confused, he asked why. Someone gently informed him that his services were no longer needed. He had been replaced. His job was gone. He stood speechless, unable to understand what had happened. Feeling hurt, angry, and betrayed, he went straight to his old mentor. With a trembling voice, he asked, "Why did I lose my job? I only followed your advice. I did exactly what you told me to do." The elderly craftsman looked at him with calm eyes and said, "No, you only followed half of it. You understood the first part, that when a lamp never goes out, no one notices it. People realize its value only when it suddenly stops shining. But you ignored the second and more important part." The young man stared at him, confused. "The second part?" he asked. The mentor replied softly, "Yes. The second part is that if a lamp keeps going out again and again, people will eventually throw it away and bring a better one. No one wants a lamp that cannot be trusted to stay lit. You wanted to show your importance, but you forgot that reliability is also part of importance. Those words hit the young man harder than anything he had ever heard. The old craftsman continued, "The same thing happens in life. We take our loved ones for granted because they are always there for us. But the day they stop being there, we finally realize their worth sometimes when it's too late. Don't wait for that day. Value people while they are present. And in your own life, don't try so hard to prove your importance by deliberately disappearing. Maintain balance. Do your work honestly, stay visible without being desperate, and remain consistent without being invisible. When you live with balance, life rewards you the same way." The young man finally understood. Success is not just about showing your value, it is about being dependable, consistent, and wise enough to know when to shine and when to rest.